Hello there, and welcome to the Daria Reactions. I'm Fred. If you are new to the channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. And to briefly explain what we're doing here is a few weeks ago, I decided to begin a reaction series regarding the MTV staple Daria, which aired back in the late 90s. Now, full disclaimer, as I like to say, I was in high school at the time Daria was airing on MTV back from 1997 to 2001, technically early 2002, because of a made for TV movie that wrapped up the series called Is It College Yet? But we'll get to that eventually when we get to that. But I was watching Daria when it was originally airing. Now, the thing is, I'm in my early 40s. Again, last time Daria had anything new that aired was 2002. So we're talking a good, 22 years since I've seen at least the very, very last episode, again, made for TV movie, and even longer for a lot of the episodes from season one, which season one was 1997. So it's been a very, very long time. Now I do remember a lot of things about the series. I still have in my collection the Daria database and the Daria diaries, which were books that were published in 1998, and I've had those since then because again, back in high school, Daria was a pretty popular show. Again, at least from my perspective, at the high school I went to and the people that I associated with. Um, so this week we're up to episode four, Cafe Disaffectico, I believe it's called, or at least that's my pronunciation of it, just based on how Disaffectico is spelled. And this is an episode that I can safely say I don't remember many details about, other than the fact what I remember about this episode from again, we're talking a good 20 in this case, uh it was like more than 25 years ago at this point, 2024 minus 1997. Somebody else can do the math. um it's like I know it involves a cafe. I believe it's an internet cafe that I think gets repurposed for something else, and I believe I think it's like a one of those poetry uh poetry cafes, poetry jam places, like it's like folks hitting the bongos and stuff as somebody like recites poetry and stuff. I don't know what those places are called. So I think that cause I know it has to do with an internet cafe, and I think a lot of it revolves around Timothy O'Neill, the English teacher who was a sensitivity teacher in the first episode. I think a lot of the central plot focuses around him, or at the very least, he's the instigator. And as with most things in the series, Daria is like kind of like a reluctant force involved in it to a various degrees. Again, this is me trying to remember something from a long time ago. From many, many moons ago, all right? And many, many pounds ago, too. So, with that said, as we're about 4 minutes in, of course, we have the display capture here, and it will be blurred and with very limited audio. You might hear it coming off of my speakers, being picked up by my mic here, or very faintly via whatever is on the desktop audio side of thing. So the reason for this is simple. Daria is owned by the same company that owns Star Trek. And anybody who knows how that company is with Star Trek reactions, who knows what they'll be with a show that they basically do not care about in the form of Daria. So I will turn the filter off from time to time. And if you're expecting me to do the intro theme again, I did that in the first episode, sang along with it. You can go back and watch that. So we skipped the intro here, going straight into, and that's one of the, and we're going straight into the episode itself proper. Um, so with that said, let's get to it. altlawndale.com. Well, there was a break-in.
Come on, Mac Daddy. I'll get the coach to write us a note. Say we need extra time on the freeways. Don't call me that, okay?
Yeah, never call Mackenzie Mac Daddy.
I can't take any more of this Shakespeare dude, bro. He's like a total chick writer.
Shakespeare is not a chick writer, right? Shakespeare wrote a lot of gory plays. And wait, Kevin and Brittany are playing Romeo and Juliet.
Daria, you're a chick, right?
Yes, Daria is a chick.
Biology test today?
Yes, she
Why
is.
should I be interested in anything the Shakespeare guy says?
You? Well, Hamlet has a skull in it.
She's right, but there's also sword fights and things of that sort, and at least in terms of a lot of things of how Shakespeare is being presented.
That happened last night here in Lawndale.
And I was right. Mr. O'Neill is involved in the plot too, and instigates a lot of this. And the cyber cafe. So I am remembering things correctly.
Charles, did you hear me? You mean Kevin?
Yeah, that's.
Kevin.
Oh, he got the seating charts mixed up. So wait, Kevin and Upchuck are not in the same class?
I was home all night. You can ask my parents. Besides, I already have a computer. No, Kevin.
Wait a second. Kevin has a computer. What is he doing on the computer, I wonder?
Are you asking me or telling me? Angry? Jody, how about you?
I think the cyber cafe.
What the hell is up with Jody's hair in this episode?
But it still pisses me off
when
people take what isn't theirs.
That's how I feel. Thank you, Kevin.
Jody's hair is just freaking me out.
Isn't that the whole idea of
Like,
cyber cafe?
when does it actually get consistent?
Global community? I think what's most disturbing about this crime is the symbolism. No.
In the span of just I'm sorry, folks. In the span of just less than 30 seconds, we've seen Jody with two different hairstyles.
They didn't just take a few computers. They took the symbol of our virtual community.
They took Wikipedia?
Alt.lawndale.com was to come together with the planet.
Oh, come on.
Yes.
Come together with the planet.
Come together with the planet.
Screen for hours.
Staring at the screen for
Sitting in a room
hours?
full of people you never say a word to.
You know, that's what we're thinking.
Daria.
Because that's how the world is now. And it's better forward, too. Like, never talk to people in person unless you really, really have to.
I'm saying, if you really miss the place, put a Mr. Coffee in the computer lab.
So, in your opinion, what we really need is a return to the traditional coffee house of
That's not what Darius is saying at all.
And share a cup with your friends, face to face.
You're a visionary.
Right here and now.
Yeah, it's like, this is Mr. O'Neill is totally misinterpreting what Daria is saying.
Walking down the street, burst into flames.
The coffee house. We'll plan it, locate it, raise the money, and open it.
And it will burn down to the ground by the end of the episode.
Of course.
Then I'd like to register as a conscientious objector.
Daria's many things. A coward is not one of them.
Hi.
I'm sorry, but this is actually always a great shot when it's seen.
Depends on your
Is Daria and Jake actually sitting at the table reading a paper?
Meeting of the fashion club.
I'll make up a nice plate for you and cover it with cling wrap.
That was Quinn.
Yes, but you still haven't identified our first mystery guest.
Damn it. I just called Eric for directions and he said the meeting's canceled.
Well, that gives us the chance for a family dinner.
Oh no.
I'll throw another steak on the grill.
Later.
Where's she going?
Crisis at the fashion club. Someone woke up with frosted hair.
You know, Daria.
You know, it is kind of odd though. We have not seen the fashion club together as a group yet.
Now. I'm chairing a meeting of the Rusting Quietly Club.
I'm serious.
They've been referenced a couple of times, and the reference in the first episode, reference here, but we have not seen them as a quartet yet.
This might be a good time to talk about setting up a trust.
Jake, tell her.
Yes, what?
about the importance of extracurricular activities for getting into college.
Extracurricular activities are nothing but a way of indoctrinating young people into cult behavior. I will know this because I was on the high school bowling team for 4
Fair
years.
enough.
Because otherwise, we might have to make up for it over
That's
the
actually
summer.
true, by the
Send
way.
in music camp.
You wouldn't.
What a great idea. How come you don't ever play your flute anymore, Daria?
Because you ran over it when I was in 5th grade, which was 2 years after I quit playing anyway, which is why I'd have to interpret music camp as punishment for doing something very, very wrong.
Nonsense. It would just be an easy way of getting some.
No, it would actually be interesting. No, wait. Daria played the flute, but I do know she plays the harmonica.
You're good. When you put your mind to it, you're very, very good.
Sure she is.
Like, why do I remember that detail? Because I think there's an episode called Grounded, and she's jamming on the harmonica in her room for several
You'll find
minutes,
something to get involved
or at
with.
least a couple of different scenes. That's way down the line. Yeah. How much of the series do I actually remember? It's like I'm making reference to things in future episodes.
It's Daria.
Daria?
When when does Mr. O'Neill? Well, one thing I don't remember is like when does Mr. O'Neill actually start remembering people's names?
Did anyone ever make you practice Pop Goes the Weasel on the flute every day for a year?
No. But I once had to recite the Gettysburg Address wearing a rainbow wig and panties that said Tuesday.
Wait, what the?
Join your fraternity.
What the hell? He had to recite the Gettysburg Address wearing
No, I wasn't actually thinking about
panties,
performing.
rainbow panties.
Remember that one about feeling like a big misfit who everybody hates?
Oh,
Young kids
jeez.
really relate to that. I know I do.
I mean, I know Mr. O'Neill gets better as a character as the series goes along,
Sophomore class to Barnyard Animals. It names names.
but it's really weird early on
I'm thinking
here.
more along the lines of fundraising.
Actually, it's right up there with
We're selling magazines, CDs, and
with what happens with Quinn at the end of
Like,
College
with my friend
Board.
Jane.
Sure. She wants to help out?
Mm-hmm. She's a big joiner.
No way, baby.
Come on, do it for friendship.
Hell of a pose for Daria there.
I walk alone.
Well, then do it for sisterhood or something.
Are you nuts?
Then do
Is-
it for the opportunity.
is Daria
to look
nuts?
inside people's
Her room
houses
is a
and
padded
find out what
cell.
screwed up taste they have.
Let's see, we haven't actually seen Daria's room yet in this episode, or at least in the series so far.
Yeah. People get a kick out of seeing someone from the Lawndale Lions.
You are so smart to wear your jersey, Kevin.
Brittany, Kevin never
Have you been
takes off his
practicing your lines
jersey.
for the coffee house?
Aw, they give me a
Never,
headache.
ever.
Kevin, please learn them, or I might get a headache.
What do you mean? Well,
Mr. Diamato!
Kevin.
Choking his chicken, it seems.
Surprise. Hi. You've come, no doubt, to apologize for your academic performance. No.
But we are sorry about like our
All,
grades and
all,
stuff.
all,
Well then.
all things being fair, Kevin should apologize for his academic
We're raising money
performance.
For the new Lawndale Young Adults Coffee House. Would you like to buy some holiday wrapping paper?
We've got religious, festive, and/or Montel Domitational.
That's non-domination.
Montel dominate.
Yeah.
Yeah, Montel Williams did have. Montel Williams did. Could have been considered a religious figure back then.
Would you like to join the CD or cassette club? 20 albums for a penny and no obligation to buy ever.
How would you like to receive regular blooming flower seeds every month? It's good to see you both so enterprising. I could make a trite observation about wishing you were as enterprising toward your schoolwork as you are in this effort to find financing for a new place to live.
That poor chicken.
Who engages in trite observations? Brittany?
No.
Good answer.
Brittany.
She gives the right answer.
Am I the sort of man who you suppose believes in underwriting the indolence of students who already display the work habits of garden slugs?
I'll go with no again.
Very good, Brittany.
Brittany's
Now,
smart.
Kevin, given what we have learned from Brittany's razor-sharp observations, is there anything more you'd like to say before departing from my doorstep in an uncomfortable hurry? You want to buy a chocolate bar?
Please tell me that Mr. Diamato smacked him in the head.
I just use a credit card.
Oh. Well, are you really happy with the service?
It's fine.
I mean, are you
That's-
really happy?
I don't get you. Why shouldn't I be?
I mean, are you ever like really looking?
That's a weird design for this dude, and he looks kind of familiar in a way.
If I were your friend and you were calling me, I'd want to listen to you, not some static. I mean, you have a really nice voice. Your friend should be able to hear it.
They usually.
Like, pretend you're calling me.
What?
Really, just try it. My name's Quinn. What's your name?
Danny.
So, call me Danny.
This can be interpreted in so many ways.
Quinn?
Danny, is that you?
Hi. Quinn?
Speak up, Danny. I can't hear you.
Hi, Quinn. It's me, Danny.
I've been thinking about you all day. The way your hair falls over your eyes.
This is awkward.
I can't get it out of my head.
Really?
You gotta speak up, Danny. Listen, do you want to come over tonight? My folks want to wait for the whole weekend.
Yeah. I mean, sure.
The-
Quinn.
Oh, that's okay, Danny. I understand. I'll see if Pete wants to come over.
But I said.
Bye.
Wait.
Click. See what can
Again,
happen
that
with
could be
long
interpreted.
distance
This
service,
entire
Danny.
scene can be interpreted as being something entirely wrong. Because Quinn is like 14. This dude's clearly like in his 30s.
Hi. I'm selling chocolate
Oh,
bars for the new student
dear.
coffee house.
New coffee?
I remember this entire bit.
Well, I enjoy chocolate. Doctor says I'm not supposed to have too much of it, but he wouldn't mind if it's for a good cause.
Gwen taking, it's gonna be Jane taking a picture of that is a smart thing.
Are you all right?
Yeah, just... I was in the basement when the doorbell rang. Need to catch my breath a
This
little.
is why I've gotten rid of
How
my
many chocolate
doorbell.
bars you got there?
We've got about 2 boxes.
He'll take the
That's
lot.
24.
Tell you what, I'll take all of them.
Yeah, I remember that.
Really?
You sure that's okay with your doctor?
It's okay as long as he don't know about it.
Hey, he ain't wrong. She ain't wrong there. Timber! Now, if memory serves me right, Principal Lee gets rather pissed at Daria and Jane here.
I don't think so.
Or at least towards the end of this
I
episode.
once gave the
Unless I'm
highlight
confusing
to
that
her
with
to
something
quit.
else.
Did it work?
She wasn't joking.
We should be doing something.
There's a watermelon
I'm
on that
sure.
table.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Damn hypoglycemia. I'm sorry, girls. I'm holding up the works. Okay, now, how much a piece on those chocolate bars?
Ma'am, I'm not sure I can sell you any chocolate bars.
What's the matter? My money's not good enough for you?
Yes.
It's not that. It's just maybe it's not such
See,
a good idea.
and Daria has a
Give me those chocolate
Daria has a
bars.
Thank you for
conscience.
your offer, though, ma'am.
She has a conscience. She does. Daria
We can
does
call
care
your
about
doctor
people.
or the hospital if you like. Otherwise, we'll be going.
I don't need a damn doctor. I need a damn chocolate bar. Gimme. I'll pay you $5 a piece.
Have a nice day, ma'am.
I want those chocolate bars. I want chocolate, damn it.
$5 a piece. We would have made over $100.
Yeah, they
and
would
all we
have.
had to do was take a human life.
You always see the downside, don't you?
Yeah,
Jane. Daria. Jane.
and I was right.
Come in, Miss Morgan.
Principal Lee is not happy because she's a money grubbing bureaucrat.
This morning from a Mrs. Johansson. She said 2 girls came to her door to sell her chocolate bars and then suddenly refused to do so. Even after she offered $5 a bar, or more than twice the asking price.
She was hypoglycemic.
They were selling the bars at $2.50. You know what? Think about that. 1997, they sell the chocolate bars at $2.50 a piece.
No.
These days, chocolate bars cost more than that, or at least at my local Rite Aid it does. Rite Aid,
Daria.
CV. It's now a CVS.
$200 short of what we need to open the coffee house.
So your refusal to sell chocolate to this woman was based purely on concern for her welfare.
Yes, they were concerned for her welfare, Principal Lee.
You have no overall overall problem with raising money for the coffee house?
I believe in coffee. Coffee for everyone. But I don't want to
I
sell any more chocolate bars. It makes me feel dirty. The bad kind of dirty.
Well, I can't force you to do fundraising, but I can't give you credit for participating in the coffee house project either.
this is what you call
What about
blackmail.
what we discussed? Reading something on opening night.
I don't think so.
You do want this extracurricular activity, don't you?
Yes.
Fine.
Daria's not happy there, and
Although I still don't
again,
know
there's
where
again
we're
some
going to
line
find
work
that
issue there. Her
$200
glasses were a bit
well,
thinner in
maybe the freshman
just a couple
volunteers
minutes
will pick
ago.
up some of it.
Hi, you got any more of those phone cards?
How about
Quinn doing the
bleakness
big
that lies
hustle.
ahead?
Too sentimental.
No life, no hope,
Look,
no future.
Daria's room. Remember what I said? It was a padded cell. This is the first time we see Daria's room in the series. So again, and if memory serves me right, the reason why the room is padded is because the previous owners of the house had a relative who was, an older relative who was a bit nuts. At least that's the canonical reason.
You
Basically, the
mark in your
room
own
looked that way
fragrance now.
when the Morgendorfers moved in.
I'm gonna have to write something new for the occasion.
Hey, look, it's Johnny Rotten.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo?
Kevin ain't there.
All right, here, babe.
Oh, yeah.
Deny thy father and refuse thy name, or if thou wilt not be but sworn my love.
Oh, yeah.
And
One thing I like about that, again, it is showing that
and
Brittany is
Catherine.
smart because she is reciting lines from Romeo and Juliet.
Check it out! You promised to learn your lines, you clown! And what's that skull supposed to be?
This guy's cool. I'm here. But where are you?
I'm also here.
Sure, I see your body.
She sees my
Anybody
body?
own that rotting bag of flesh?
Okay, yes. It is a rotting bag of... I am a rotting bag of flesh. Of mostly water. Star Trek reference, but there you go.
Yep. Thank you very much, Andrea. It takes a lot of courage to expose your raw emotions that way. Now,
Was she checking down
speaking
alcohol?
of raw emotions, it's my pleasure to introduce one of Lawndale High's most gifted writers,
Quinn?
Daria Morgendorfer.
Give Mr. O'Neill credit. At least he said the last name
Tonight,
right
I'd
this
like
time.
To read a new story I've written titled "Where the Future Takes Us."
You insensitive jerk!
Ow!
As students standing at the
Kinda
dawn
make
of
him
a
wonder
brand
what
new
Brittany just
century,
did to
we
Kevin
face
off
certain
screen.
choices.
Glass
How
was
do we
heard
prepare
shattering.
for the future? Melody Powers knew how she was going to prepare. As she checked the fit one more time on her tool leather shoulder holster, she thought about all the communists she'd be taking out tonight. Melody harbored no illusions about unilaterally stemming the resurging red tide. But, she reflected with a grim smile, what special agent could resist the
Say what you want here.
opportunity to fill
Daria
two
is a
Bolshevik
captivating
cemeteries?
speaker.
As Melody sunbathed on the Rio beach, she looked back upon the past few days with a certain quiet satisfaction. 12 dead Russians.
Oh, wait.
5 dead Chinese.
I remember this.
3 or 4
I remember the ending of
The
this
world
episode
was
now.
once again safe for democracy.
She inspires her like a
reflected while
communist
watching
revolt.
Tonio's exquisite chest
Oh, and Kevin
rise
has a black
fall as the
eye.
light snoring. Safe for democracy. Or almost safe. Melody brushed some errant grains of sand off her fingers, tied her top back on, and reached into her beach bag. Tonio heard nothing. And that was a pity, because he would never hear anything again. So long, Tonio. She
Kind of
thought
makes me
as she calmly
wonder
stood up.
what the full story
I
of Daria is.
couldn't
Because
love
here,
you. You weren't as
of
red
this,
as the
of her story
bloodstained
here
now
is
spreading across
she,
the sand.
she,
Melody walked
we
calmly
hear the
away
intro,
toward the
and we
hotel.
hear the ending.
There'd be a message there from HQ, no doubt. She hoped she had time for a shower.
Yeah!
Again, they're cheering for Daria. They loved her story.
Cafe Lawndale closed until further notice.
Unfortunately, the cafe is now
Isn't that the
closed.
coffee house you were working for?
Yeah, but I already got my extra credit. They can't take it away now.
School authorities have decided to close Lawndale's new young adult coffee house after its opening night somehow turned into an anti-communist rally. Some unscheduled propagandizing
It's
went
like,
on, and the students
wait,
reacted
an
a little
anti-communist
profanely
rally?
when
What's
someone
wrong with
coffee house
that?
director Timothy O'Neill, a teacher at Lawndale High.
Breakfast meeting at the Royalton.
But you haven't even tasted my souffle.
Following a reading of some right-wing literature, several members of the football team marched down North Avenue, intending to stone the Russian embassy. Of course, there are no embassies in Lawndale. Wow. Did you girls know anything about this?
Yeah, Daria instigated.
There. I had a real date.
Teens are impressionable, O'Neill said, and the last thing we want is to provide a base of operations for political extremists. Daria, did you have any idea we had these kinds of radicals here in town?
No.
Yeah.
But we've got to maintain constant vigilance against those.
Constant vigilance is constant.
Never take on our own.
I'll say.
And the episode ends as it begins with something being stolen. Okay, all right, that was great. As I remembered it, certain things actually came back to me. So this is the second episode in a row, and we kind of have to talk about Quinn a little bit here, or at least the people that like the age gap there, because canonically, Daria is 16 in season 1. As a matter of fact, she's 16 for the majority of the series. Like she's 18 in the final season, and so you would say she's 17 in season 4. But for the first 3 seasons, she's like 16-ish, and I don't remember if she has a birthday party episode or anything of that sort that ages her up. But yeah, because this episode firmly states it's a sophomore class, and they refer to the freshman class, and there is like a 2-year gap. Now, why are you saying like there with Quinn, because Quinn is like it's like within 2 years of her Quinn is 2 years younger than Daria. I know that for certain. So this is the second episode in a row where you have dudes. It's not as bad as the ending of College Board with the college prep test instructor going out on trying to coerce Quinn, and it's mostly off screen, and she handles it rather well. But at the same time, it's the second episode where you have someone who is clearly older, being drawn in by her, and her antics with her selling, was it the phone cards. I don't think so. It's like, yeah, it's like, what the actual hell, dude. The thing was Miss Johansson, the big bulky woman, uh, and the whole chocolate bar thing. It is actually a great scene when you considering that the Daria is like, it's a scene that actually shows Daria's compassion to a very large degree. Because again, you can always say it's like Daria. People say it's like Daria. Oh, she's standoffish. She's a loner, with the exception of Jane, and like, but this is an instance of her showing compassion, because she could like do what Principal Lee obviously wants her to do. It's like, hey, you know what? Man, they're selling the chocolate bars at $2.50, and this person is willing to pay double for them. It's like, yeah, go ahead, screw the consequences, as long as that green is coming in, right? So again, this is Daria working things out. It's like, okay, the lesser of two evils. The entire ending, as I remember, realizing what the ending is, and with Daria reading the anti-communist propaganda again, what's wrong with that, and is being presented as a right-wing extremism, which is kind of a unique take, because I never really considered Daria as a character to be right wing to that extent, but at the same time, you kind of get the impression that Mr. O'Neill, because Mr. O'Neill has some like instant reactions to what Daria is reading uh, during her stand up performance at Cafe Lawndale. But again, it's like we only really hear the intro and basically the last paragraph or two of the story that she's reading. And one thing I love about that scene, other than the fact that you have like she gets an reaction, she has people cheering for her based on what she's reading and so forth. And so it's like okay, she has a captivating reader, a captivating voice, and like a bit of a stage presence about her. So again, if Daria wants to make the effort, she could be that engaging and and draw people in. Uh, if she is so inclined to. She is not inclined to do so, but that's a whole other thing there. Jake and Helen don't really have much to do other than pushing Daria to for her extracurricular activities. Jane is more or less Daria's sidekick for a couple of scenes, but nothing really major there. It's like I'm trying to remember like when is Trent introduced? Like no, Trent was we already seen Trent, but there it's like Trent and Daria do have not had that reaction interaction yet where Daria has like her little crush on him. So we have not seen that. The fashion club is mentioned, but we have not seen the full quartet together yet. Um and I'm trying to remember off the top of my head when would we? Um I want to say I know there's an episode in season 1 where they go to the mall, but I don't remember what order the episodes are actually in. And I think that is when the fashion club uh are together as a quartet and seen as a group for the first time. But I again but we'll get to that when we get to that. Anything else standing up? Mr. Diamato's rant when Brittany and Kevin come to his door for trying to do their little fundraising bit, and he's just standing there choking, like literally strangling what's left of the chicken. And yes, I know what I say there. He's choking his chicken, and I'm quite proud of that thing there because if it was a live chicken, he would be strangling it by its neck. But his whole thing there and his questioning of Brittany as like, is he a type of man that would tolerate her and Kevin basically coming to his door asking him for money for a quote unquote good cause, considering their lack of uh well, in particular in lack of Kevin's uh lack of progression in terms of academics is a great little scene. And again, this episode does give Brittany that Brittany herself is shown as being smart. That she is like, yeah, she assumes the answer is no, but she has a little bit of insight there. And the fact that she was interested in Romeo and Juliet, she's interested in Shakespeare, that she put in the efforts to learn Juliet's lines from the play, and was pissed as all hell that Kevin did not learn the lines. It actually says a lot about her character. Again, Brittany is the stereotypical blonde, big chested cheerleader. She is that stereotype, but she has her moments. So again, that's kind of like cool in and of itself. Anything else that is standing out here? I already went off on that slight rant regarding Jodie's hair, so this is actually 2 episodes in a row where we see like some wild changes in Jodie's hair. She had that like solid gray weird weirdness there. Then it went back to like and shown like with the darker braids in 2 different shots there. So I didn't notice another little scene there where Daria's the thickness of Daria's glasses changed from like the traditional like fairly thick dark frames to a very thin frame. So I kind of wonder at this point, when does because it's actually Jodie that has like the most inconsistent like appearance so far, and it's quite jarring to me. Uh, because again, I know how the character is supposed to look like, and having her seen with like thin lines, and then with the thicker style, like what's supposed to be interpretation of braids, and then whatever the hell that gray mass was, and then again, it's like when do they actually settle on Jodie's hairstyle? Or when do the animators decide to stop cutting corners with Jodie is actually a great question. But granted, she is at this point a background character. She does not really she's not really featured in a way. She's just there for to have someone, because she has like less screen time than Brittany. At this point in the series. So then again, Brittany was prominently featured in the episode The Invitation, so Brittany has a little bit more character development. But almost every other character that had the named character at this point has had, like, their designs are set for the most part. Darius is set, Quinn's is set, Kevin is set, Brittany is set, James is set. Upchuck Upchuck is actually pretty much set for the entire rest of the series as well. But still was a good episode. It was like the more and more as I remembered it, as I watched it, and it's quite good and everything. So with that said, leave your thoughts, comments, and everything in the comment section. I do actually go out my way to respond to any and all comments, as people who respond to the gaming shorts very much well know. So we'll see you next week for another episode, and of course, as I said, comment is like would say like, subscribe, but no one actually does that because I don't do that on other channels. But we'll see y'all in the next episode.